Welcome to the future, where the glass is half full and you'll need new glasses, where you'll be jumping from conclusions.
The past is a no, and a new future is born.
Never before in history has so much meant so little to so many. AD on the radio.
So here it is. Here you are. Here we all are. 2016 is almost a wrap. And I know everybody says this at the end of every year, but when you look back over it, it's been a doozy. 2016 is almost done. And what a year it has been. We've seen the unimaginable, the laughable, the hysterical, the frightening, the tragic, and the glorious in 12 months. And most days, Funkhauser and I have met with you here to talk. We've talked politics, we've talked news, we've talked about things that make us laugh and smile. We watch the unimaginable play out in an election that is unquestionably one for the history books. We have a president-elect unlike anything we've ever seen. And we've learned, if there's one thing that's certain, it's that nothing is certain. We've learned to absolutely expect the unexpected in 2016. But we've also made some valuable decisions. Those of us that gather around the wireless for this chat every single day, we've kind of decided amongst ourselves that what we want, all of us, you, me, everyone, what we want is universal. We all want a home, a job, a future. A future for our kids, if we have some. A job that is meaningful. We all want these things. And we've decided that we're going to bear in mind that because we all want these things, we might have radically different ideas of how to get there. But we're going to bear in mind we're working toward the same end goal. And try and have a conversation with people that don't agree with us, especially those that don't agree with us. Keeps things interesting, gives you a better chance of learning stuff. And we decided there's no way to agree with everyone all the time. So we decided to talk to as many different people with as many different viewpoints as possible on this show. Why? So that we can better understand others and why they believe what they believe. Allowing us to operate from a position of respect and understanding as we move into a new year. We've been lucky enough to have amazing interviews. Folks like ZZ Top, Alice in Chains, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters and Nirvana, Metallica, Melissa Etheridge, Cheap Trick, right as they were about to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Chuck D from Public Enemy, Cypress Hill, Rage Against the Machine, Seinfeld writer Spike Feirstein, comedian and SNL alum Jim Brewer all stopped by this show. And you give me such a great gift because we enjoy this all together every single day. I love your company every day. We have these conversations and laughs and, well, like I said, it's almost like Christmas for me every single day. I love it. But as much as being on this show makes it feel like Christmas every day, it doesn't take away from the fact that this time of year, Christmas time, the new year, it's my favorite. And it's not because of the food, not because of the gifts, not because of the time that you spend with your friends and family and loved ones. All that's great. But to me, what I love the most about Christmas and the Christmas season is that Christmas is a spirit of giving. Christmas to me is the happiness that you get when you see the joy in others that you help create. I love this time of year. I love Christmas because I think there's nothing else on earth, no other day that bonds all of us all around the world through a spirit of goodwill toward each other the way Christmas time does. So I hope that no matter who you are or what you believe, you're going to join me this Christmas in keeping love in your heart for all. We might have met in person. Maybe we haven't. But I want you to know that I love you. I have love in my heart for you. And I wish you a wonderful and Merry Christmas time and only the very best in the new year for you. Peace on earth. Merry Christmas to all. And over the next week, we're going to take a look back at 2016 and some of the most special, magical moments where we learned and laughed the most. Have yourself a great holiday season. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
having fun, cause that's my job, and my job's about to get done. Yeah, that's how I'm operating, and I'll thank motherfuckers for cooperating. When I say, put your hands up, touch the sky. If you're really feeling really good, then wave them from side to side. It's time for a little rebellion, and Italian in front of you is telling you the things you gotta do. Check 1, 2, is this thing live? Cause it's time for the party and the first stage dive. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Where the left and right come together for fundamental truths. AD on the radio.
Every day you're going and working, running that rat race and that pace and that place will leave a bad taste for anyone, everyone working day after day. So buddy, I gotta say, with you, there's gotta be a better way, yeah. And you do what they told ya, company man, feel it, a mindless little soldier. How can you live like that and maintain your composure? Before it's begun, your life's already freaking over.
Merry almost Christmas, everybody. We are here hanging out. No place we would rather be than spending quality time with you. Join in the conversation. Tweet us at ADSXEs, where you can find me. Send super producer to the stars Barry Funkhauser holiday greetings at Funk FM. We've also been joined by award-winning storyteller Sam Feirstein on the show, who's going to tell us a story all about Christmas Eve. Actually, last time Sam was on the show, you told us that Star Wars story. You remember?
Vaguely.
So, and part of that conversation was this woman on MSNBC, Melissa Harris Perry, was saying that Star Wars was racist. Why? She pointed at Darth Vader being played by James Earl Jones, and when he was an evil overlord that cut off white people's hands and denied having a son, he was a black guy. But the moment he claims his son, does the right thing and stands up for him and joins the non-dark side of the Force. And she was like, that was another thing. Why do they have to call it the dark side? She was like, he was revealed to be a white guy as soon as he turned into a good human being. And that was sort of political correctness gone badly awry, where she said that there was racism in Star Wars. And a lot of people pointed to the fact that George Lucas married a black woman and she should shut the hell up, and she's just pandering for any kind of attention that she can get in the joyous freaking Yuletide season when people seem to need it so badly. But Jerry Rocca did, in fact, point out that there was a little bit of racism in Star Wars. Check him out.
Being a nerd, I'm very excited for the new Star Wars movies. I can't wait. Yes, can't wait. But because I'm Mexican, I'm pissed. I got to fix one thing, okay? The early movies, the original ones, were racist to Mexicans. And I realized that watching them again, the Jawas, the little things with the glowing eyeballs, who do you think they were? They were brown. They talked fast. Nobody understood them. How did they make a living? They would collect junk and then fix it and then sell it back to white people. And what happened when their business was done? All of them hopped in one van and drove off into the desert. Fix the Jawas, okay? J.J. Abrams, if you are watching right now, I don't care about Han shooting first. Fix the Jawas, okay? Arregla a los Jawas. Thank you very much. You guys have been awesome.
Yeah.
An astute observation, I think we can all agree. So the ham was actually forbidden during Hanukkah, like in your household. The forbidden Christmas ham represented a goal for you that you would get when you went over to your friend's house for
No,
to
ham
celebrate
was
their
just
Christmas?
always forbidden. It didn't matter what day of the year it was. It was just you don't bring the ham in my father's house.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So did he keep like kosher, 2 sinks and the whole bit?
No. We didn't keep kosher by any stretch of the imagination, but there were just some lines you do not cross, like the Hanukkah bush.
Uh-huh.
The Hanukkah bush that old Funky here was trying to ask me about earlier. It's like, if you brought a bush into my father's house during the holiday season, and it better be burning and prophesizing, otherwise you were getting the crap slapped out of you, because we were not assimilating like that. I mean, we were very, very proud. And, my father served in the Jewish underground during World War II, and then fought in two Israeli military. He was in the Israeli army, and he fought in a couple of wars. So you don't screw with that guy.
Wow. That's crazy. So, like, we wanted to have you on the show at one point, and we're not going to we're not going to derail the whole situation here by bringing up the ugly conversation of anti-Semitism. We'll wait for a different show to do that. But like, I remember you told me once that, because I was like, in Los Angeles, you know, did you ever run into anything? You're like, what? You mean kids whipping rocks at my head and a guy turning the hose on my dad when he was going off to synagogue? Like, if he was in the Israeli army, that means he knows that Krav Maga stuff, and that means that the guy who turned the hose on your dad, he probably could have killed him with his thumb if he wanted to. Like, it must have taken a tremendous amount of restraint not to respond physically to that. Because, like, if you're in the Israeli army, you're essentially a humongous badass.
Well, I think when I asked my dad about it, he said I almost just ran him over with the car. But because, at this point, because my dad was in a suit, he was on his way. It was Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the Jewish year. And he was on his way to temple to when the guy hit him with the hose. And, Pops almost ran him over with the car.
Justifiably so.
Works for me.
Yeah, tell me about it. It was interesting because when I used to DJ clubs in New York City, I got to be friends with all the bouncers and the security guards and would watch who they like tossed out and things of that nature. And I remember having a conversation with them, and they're like, I was like, so who do you think is the most trouble? And they're like, well, typically they're not trouble, but you have to be very, very careful with how you deal with a drunken and unruly Israeli person. I was like, why? He was like, because they all know that Krav Maga stuff, and they could take you out without even thinking about it. So if you ever have to cut off an Israeli person or kick him out, it's like, right this way, sir. May I show you to a cab? I'll call you one in the street. Drink while you wait. It's an interesting one. And sounds like your dad practiced extraordinary amounts of restraint. Sam's Christmas story when we return.
Starting from here, my head is where I feel numb. From the front of my neck to the base of my skull. Taking it back by the way my mind is working. Like that, my own.
Ho, ho, ho. Please continue.
Okay, so here's my Christmas story. Mother's Day, 1990-something, I don't know when. An old friend of mine from high school, Liz, called me out of the blue. We hadn't talked in years, and she tells me, she goes, I'm back in L.A., I'm finishing up my Ph.D. in psychology, and I've just been wondering, what have you been up to? Let's see, what have I been up to? Well, let's see, the woman I thought I was going to marry just ripped my heart out and killed me because she dumped me for another guy. So what have I been up to? Dying every moment of every day. That is what I have been up to. In fact, I'm dying right freaking now, which really came out as what I told her was, I'm okay. I'm working in entertainment. And so Liz invited me over for dinner, and I went. I figured, what the hell? What could it hurt? Well, you know what? It turns out a lot changes in 8 years. First of all, she had 5 cats. And when I was like, 5 cats? And she goes, oh, I know, I had to draw the line somewhere. I'm like, the line is back at 3, the legal limit. There's a legal limit on the amount of cats you can have. And she was way past it. But that, whatever. I asked her, I said, so it's kind of crazy. You became a shrink. Ha. Tell me, how'd you get in? And she goes, no. That is a derogatory statement. I am a doctor. I'm a clinical psychologist. But really, what I see myself is, I'm a guide. I'm a guide for broken souls on their journey towards a regenesis of their paradigm. Liz, I don't know what had happened to her, but she was incapable of speaking in anything but these pseudo-spiritual pop psych sound bites. And then she asks me about my work, and she goes, and so now tell me, you're a visual artist? And I'm like, no, I direct music videos for punk rock bands, and I I just did one. It was kind of like the Cast of Different Strokes meets Natural Born Killers. And we got in trouble because the notes we got back were that the crack smoking looked way too realistic. And the thing was, I was actually kind of proud of it, and then I got in trouble for it. And she just looks at me and goes, "Oh, it must be so great to be able to express your heart like that through your work." Like, how do you navigate that? Like, how do you like, it hit me. I got it. People lose touch for a reason, which made it all that much more horrible when after dinner she slides up next to me and says, "So, why aren't you hitting on me?" And I'm looking at her and I'm just thinking, oh God, no, I can't. I did. Ugh, I don't have a good excuse. I thought I hadn't had sex since I got dumped. And I thought maybe this will help kill the pain. I mean, it almost killed me, but well, Liz had a great time. She said it was regenerating. Me, on the other hand, I've been struggling with, like, how do I describe what it was like to have sex with Liz? And the best I've been able to come up with is, imagine a Viking having a seizure. I mean, this girl, she was only like, 5'2", 5'3", 100 and like, 2 or 3 pounds. Like, she was small, but oh dear God, she tore me apart. Like, it was not fun. And I got injured in the middle of it. Like, wildly reckless girl. And I actually had to quit. I could not continue. And I left there it was awful. And when I got out of there that night, I was just soaked with regret. And I had thought, like, that there would be no way for me to hate my life more than I already did. But I found out then that, no, there was, like, plenty of room to grow. Oh, God, it was awful. And, of course, Liz called. She called a lot. She called every day. She called again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And she just always wanted to see me. And I would say, no, I just don't think. Maybe not. It's probably not the best right thing for us to be doing. And Liz would say, I hear you. Let's explore this. And then 2 hours of, like, psychobabble oversaturation later, I come to at her place. Oh, I should have just been firm and cut her off and said, no, get away from me. Absolutely not. I want nothing to do with you. But the thing was, like, I was so heartbroken. I was so torn up. And I felt so bad that I didn't want to make anybody else feel bad. I didn't want to hurt her feelings. And I thought, maybe I can ease my way out of this. Sure. Just as soon as she stops hanging out with my mom. Yeah, that was happening, but I didn't introduce them. No, I didn't have to, because Liz took the proactive step of secretly copying my mother's number off of my caller ID and then calling her and hanging out with her. And my mother loved her, because Liz would just sit on the phone with her and they would go to lunch, and she would just complain about, like, oh, if he would just let me clean him up, I could take him places and show him off. Oh, God. Oh. My big mistake, there was a lot of mistakes, but my big mistake happened one night when she called me again, and in her desperately innocent voice, she says to me, she goes, if what's happening between us is just sex, and I'm not saying that anything is happening between us, but if what is happening between us is just sex, don't you think that's dead? Like, a dead end is an experience? Where's the life in that? Wouldn't you want to see where it could go and what kind of life it could have if we took the shackles off and let it breathe and bloom and be what it could be on its own without us holding it back, hypothetically? No, absolutely not. You want to know what kind of life it would have? You want to know what kind of life it'd have? My death. That is the kind of life that this would have, which came out more as, you really want to? Oh, I humored her. and I dug my grave. Because 3 months later, there I am in her car on Labor Day weekend, headed to the Sierras for what she's calling a lover's weekend. And there was no way that I was going on this thing. She booked it without telling me. And then when she told me about it, I was like, absolutely not. I cannot go. I'm not going. This is not happening. And she says, I hear you. Let's explore this. The thing was, Liz and I never explored anything, and she never heard me on any level. You want to know what we explored? We explored 2 things, trauma sex and fighting, because that's all we did. It was hell. But there I am, 8 hours into this drive to the Sierras, in her car, sitting in a McDonald's parking lot somewhere outside of Lake Tahoe. And I'm watching Liz just tear through this Big Mac, supersized, double meat, double cheese value meal. I mean, she is just ripping through this thing like she's a wet, dry shop vac. I mean, she is just inhaling it. And I got to tell you, the Sierras offer very few places to eat if you, like me, have a delicate digestive tract and can't process many foods in the brown category, right? I hadn't eaten beef in years. I hadn't had fast food since high school. And I'm sitting there holding this one 39-cent cheeseburger going, oh, God, I can't. But I hadn't eaten in like 10 hours. I don't know how long, and I was starving. And I knew it was wrong, and I knew I shouldn't do it, because if I eat meat, it is just pure intestinal anarchy. But I did it. And I chew and I bite into this thing, and there's just an explosion of grease in my mouth. And I'm thinking, oh, God, I'm in trouble. I'm in a lot of trouble. And I was, but I had no idea how much. About an hour or so later, we pull into our little lover's cabin complex up in the middle of the Sierras somewhere. And as we're checking in, the woman at reception says, oh, you're the lucky couple in Santa's cabin. And I go, excuse me? And Liz grabs the keys and goes, oh, my God, you're going to love it. It's great. And she takes off out the door. And I look at the woman, and the woman looks at me and goes, Merry Christmas. I'm thinking, what the hell? What is Liz done now? And then I walk outside, and I see it. There, in the middle of a dozen normal cabins, is one. It's got a red door. It's got fake snow on the roof. And it's got a team of fiberglass reindeer out front. And it really is Santa's cabin, because Liz goes, isn't it great? They bought it at auction when Santa's village was foreclosed on. Never mind that somebody actually foreclosed on Santa. But Liz, I mean, who does that? Who forecloses on Santa? But Liz had purposely booked us into old St. Nick's house. 2 Jews. She's purposely booked us, 2 Jews, into old St. Nick's house in August. And you go inside this place, and it is just garlands and candy cane, and there's a giant Christmas tree with blinking lights and fake presents. And I look at her and I go, what were you thinking? And she says, I did this for you. I'm like, oh, really? For me, the conservative Jew, the son of an Israeli military war veteran? I mean, my family, we're not like Jewish. Like, we're freaking Jewish. And if you brought a bush into my father's house on Hanukkah, you were getting that. It better be burning and prophesizing. Otherwise, you were going down. Oh, it was awful. And that night, I'm laying up there. I'm in Santa's bed, up in Santa's loft. And I'm just thinking, it's like, and I can't sleep because the Christmas tree, we couldn't find a light switch for it. And I'm just thinking, how did I get here? How did I get here? I am not this guy. But I was, because I was there with her, and it was all my fault. And the next morning, I don't remember falling asleep, but I came to the horrible, horrible sounds of Liz going, Mama got you wakey, wakey. And I look down, and there she is. She's down at the South Pole, working some of her horror. And it's awful, but not for all the regular reasons, right? It's like something has gone horribly wrong in the middle of the night, and my gut is bloated. I mean, there is a pressure in my gut that I've never felt before. There is this just burning horror deep inside my stomach. And the next thing I know, Liz hops on top of me, and it's like, oh! And I scream out because it just, every time she like jumps down on top of me, it just sends this like searing pain through my body. But I start gasping. I can't breathe. I'm in so much pain, which she thinks is like, she takes it as lust and passion. And she goes, "That's right, bitch," and spits in my face and grabs Santa's headboard and just starts her like seizure Viking routine. And she's killing me because just searing, burning pain is shooting through my body, and I'm dying. Finally, I just shove her off of me, and I fall out of the bed, and I go down the staircase, and I almost die slipping down the stairs, and I get into the bathroom, and I slam the door shut, and there's a gingerbread man on the other side of the door, and somebody's like drawn a V over his eyes, and he's glaring at me. And I'm in a lot of pain, and I don't know what kind of horror is waiting for me, but I'm scared. I am very, very scared, and I do the only thing I know how to do. I pray. I say, "God, please, please, please get me out of this, please." And there's an old saying that God comes to some men quickly and some men slowly, but his effect on me that morning was sudden and profound, because when I let go and I released my bowels that morning, there wasn't some alien McDonald baby waiting to just tear my guts out. Gas came pouring out of me like I'd never known before. It was just this long stream, just it was blowing and blowing and blowing. There was an intestinal wind that was blowing out of my backside like I'd never known before. And as my stomach started to go down and the pressure got better, it got to be a little fun. And I started laughing, which made everything kind of hiccup, and which actually kind of felt kind of cool. And then there's this reindeer clock on the wall, and I'm just watching the second hand go around and around and around, and I'm like, oh my God, we're passing a minute. And I just, it's great. And I'm getting giddy, and I'm giggling my head off, and I want to call my buddy Rusty, and I'm like, "Dude, we're going past 90 seconds. It's amazing." And it was crazy. This wind just blew out of me like I was a punctured radiator. Oh, and at the end of it, I just sat there, leaned back, winded, giggling to myself, and it was like I hadn't felt that good in months. And I realized I felt like me again. As sad and as pathetic as it was, that's what it took to wake me up. And I knew what I had to do. And I took a couple of minutes, and then I went back upstairs, and I looked at Liz, and she was sitting there in Santa's bed eating chocolate, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I just looked at her and I said, "Get packed. We're done." And we were. Merry Christmas.
I have questions about her relationship with your mom, which we'll get into in a second. Sam Feirstein, his tale of Christmas woe. In Liz's case, Christmas woe. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Now, more AD on the radio.
Is this just constant jingle bells, or does it break into a carol at some point?
I don't know.
Or that Bengals song.
I don't know if you caught it. Like Walk Like an Egyptian. I don't know if you caught it or not, but Seal was on Kimmel the other night, and, he sang what they're calling honest Christmas carols.
Honest Christmas carols?
Honest Christmas carols.
What about the parts of Christmas that kind of suck? Well, now there's an album for that, too. Seal's Honest Christmas Carols with realistic, soon-to-be holiday hits like
No one likes your ugly sweater party. No one likes your ugly sweater smile.
Seal sings what you're thinking.
Mom's drunk again.
Christmas carols you always wish you had.
I don't want to meet your family, 'cause I'm breaking up with you next week. Yeah.
And of course, the timeless classic.
All my friends from high school are fat, yeah. All my friends from high school are fat.
Finally, songs you wish existed.
Another Applebee's gift card. Thanks, Donna. This is just what I needed. Seal's Honest Christmas Carols, the perfect gift for people you know.
Order now and tell him how you really feel.
My cousin's new boyfriend is a dick.
Seal's Honest Christmas Carols.
Available at Walgreens.
So let me ask you this: did you guys get holiday gifts for your superiors at work?
No.
No.
Did we get holiday gifts or give?
Did you go out and purchase office holiday gifts for anybody?
No.
Nothing I says I love you like cash.
Yeah. So I did. I have two bosses. Well, three, but the third one never talks to me. Yeah, so I think I get to skate on that one. But I was like, I should get a holiday gift for both of these two bosses. And this time last year, everybody here drinks coffee. It's the lifeblood of a radio station. Everybody knows that. So this time last year, my boss got me one of those. I'm drinking out of it today, actually. A Starbucks thermos that keeps your coffee hot for a really long time. Sort of like a venti-sized one, which I love. It's honestly like my most used holiday gift of the year. And she also got me a Starbucks gift card to go with it.
Now I have to
which
pay.
was enough for 2 delicious cups of coffee. It was $10, 2 cups of coffee. Well, really a cup and a half if you factor in tax. So me being competitive in every single nature it's possible to be competitive in, what I did was I got her the exact same thing this year. I got her a Starbucks tumbler because, you can never have too many insulated mugs as far as I'm concerned. I got her one of those, but because she got me a $10 gift card last year, $12.50. I don't know if she's going to notice the irony or not. I wonder if she's going to be like, that's a funny number. Oh, okay, fine. Maybe you wanted to factor in the tax so I could get 2 whole cups of coffee. I don't know. All I know is this. I win Christmas, and that's what really matters. Hey, Sam, so the story that you told us of the Jewish girl that booked you into Santa's foreclosure village
Yes.
in the middle of the summertime. Did she actually spit in your face and call you bitch during the proceedings? That wasn't embellished for the story, was it? Only because this was the 90s. Oh, you know what? That's probably right when American Pie came out with the immortal line in it, "Say my name, bitch." So that's probably right when that sort of behavior started to proliferate in the
It actually
American
predates American Pie by I think 2 years, but yeah, she most certainly did do that.
So she was a shrink. She was a shrink that spat in your face and called you a bitch.
She was also a shrink that was just dead set on breaking my will as a human being to make me want to be with her.
Wow. So the part that to me sounds like next level stalker, the part that blows my mind is the fact that she, independent of you giving a number, called your mom. Had she known your mom in the past? Was this anything like that? That to me, that crosses a humongous line. Like, what the hell are you doing? You don't call my mom. You don't surreptitiously steal my mother's information from my caller ID and then call my mom and strike up a talking relationship with her. That crosses a humongous boundary. And Mom, what the hell were you thinking? Did any of this conversation happen?
Mom, well, yeah, it did, because that is stalker, psycho, crazy stuff. But
all right,
she said no, it was proactive, and wouldn't accept that she did something really, really wrong. And then my mother truly loved it. All she knew was, here we have a Jewish doctor who desperately wants to take over my son's life and absorb him and turn him into, something presentable, because nobody was really happy with my punk rock ways back then. And my mom thought she was just wonderful and adorable, and we'll still bring her up from time to time.
And any idea what Liz is doing now? Are you Facebook friends?
No.
Oh, I was about to go through your Sam's Facebook friends and be like, Liz.
No,
Liz,
and I
Liz.
changed the name. I changed the name. I don't want that. I don't want that plague coming back into my life. I mean, it was so much worse than she also figured out where I lived on her own, let's say. And this was in the days before burner phones, and she would call me from strange numbers that I didn't know, and just in order to get me to call back. Like, breaking up with her wasn't easy. It took a lot of work.
It sounds like you had to have an exit strategy and an extraction. Like, this is military grade getting out of relationship stuff here. That's bananas that she found. It's bananas that she found out where you lived and your mom's phone number on her own. Wait, are we all on a show, Funkhauser?
No, one more.
Okay. Well, we'll get into just why this chick Liz so much more psychotic than you even know on the surface directly ahead.
With puppies in my face and Dad gotta join the human race. Time for a yawn and a stretch and a walk, you see. They know my order at the restaurant across the street. That's why
AD on the radio.
turn it up loud, 'cause you know you love the sound. Rock the radio, 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 with you on the radio, the radio, the radio, rock the radio, rock the radio.
So, just because there's absolutely no such thing as too much, here's one of the original clips of goats screaming like humans from the interwebs. And these are actual goats. If somehow you managed to miss the original viral video, these are goats that sound freakishly like human beings when they scream. Keep the Christmas music going in the background, Funkhauser. It adds to the effect. Those are all actual goats. And you can kill the Christmas music now, Funkhauser, because
we
have our own Christmas.
I think that was Liz. Wait, play it again. Play it again.
Just to be sure.
Here's goats screaming Christmas carols because, people on the internet have entirely too much time on their hands.
Oh, yes. It is holidays. Let us
Eggnog?
sing along.
Why, yes, I believe I will.
No, that's Liz. That was us in Santa's cabin, and the scream in the background was me.
Wait for it. So the thing... So the thing that amazes me about your stories, Sam, besides the fact that they're so wildly enthralling and keep you on the edge of your seat for every last second of them, is that they're all true and they all involve real people.
Yes.
And Liz being the kind of sort of psychotic investigative reporter of relationships that you described, someone that would steal your mother's phone number off a caller ID, then strike up a relationship with her where she would have long conversations, and then find out where you lived, and then to get you to pick up the phone would call from strange phone numbers, pre-burner phone, pre-being able to block caller ID. Are you not worried that, her being the sleuth that she was back then is probably still a little sleuthy, and could, in fact, look you up and hear things like this. Like after this show airs, it'll be on the internet for podcast, and I'm sure you've told this story in public before because, it seems to be something that you have in your quiver of awesome stories. Are you not worried she's going to, find out about it and hear it somehow? Does this bother you at all, or is it just sort of like you're, F it, it was a long time ago, I'm going for it?
Well, I have two things. Well, part of me desperately hopes she never hears it. And another part of me, I really hope she hears it. And the only part that I think working in my favor is who would want to ever admit to being Liz?
Well,
right. No one's going to want to admit to having. I mean, it's terrible that I get on the radio and admit these things about me. So.
Wasn't there another version of the story that got you into some trouble in the on the interwebs? Because when you told the story in a previous form on a different show, wasn't there some reference to her female grooming habits not being that fastidious?
Thanks.
Thanks
so much.
Trust me. This is a very different crowd that you're talking to than the NPR folks that lit you up on the internet for that one. No.
That was not that. Those weren't NPR folks. This is not an NPR kind of story. This is not. But yeah, I happened to just casually make mention that all of Liz's grooming took place between her knee and her ankle, and that offended. Wookiee somewhere, a Sasquatch, somebody took it on as offensive.
Now, there is, I want to be careful how I approach this situation. This is sort of shaving, waxing taken to the extreme, as is the want in today's culture, correct?
I think it's definitely not I think it's how should we put this?
Carefully is how we should put this, bearing in mind that we're on broadcast radio. But
now most everybody looks as though their bodies are, can I say alopecia? Yeah, prepubescent. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go pre-pube. And this was back in the I would say landing strip / triangle era.
The landing strip / piece of pie era. Yeah. So, below the waist. There are certain stereotypes. There are certain stereotypes that apply to below the waist growth, if you will, in terms of people of a certain faith are regarded as being a little bit more stereotypically hirsute. Did she dispel the stereotype, or was it on point? Was it well applied to her? Bearing in mind that she did not groom above the knee.
God. Let's say
you can say it.
The blonde curtains, the yellowy blonde curtains did not match the.
Whoa! Hold on. Are you saying she had a dye job going on south of the equator?
No, I thought curtains are hair, right? The head. Isn't the curtains on the head and the carpet on the floor?
Okay, all right, cool. I'm all right. I follow now. Go on.
So, we are just spiraling into
badly out of control. But continue.
Happy Christmas Eve for all you children. Let's just say it was a
was it like Jumanji down there?
That it was the Call of the Wild.
Yeah.
It was. She was busy. She was working on a doctorate. She just didn't have a lot of time for that.
I see. Well, how insensitive of you to bring that up.
You know, I'm going to go to the Seinfeld apartment. I'm just going to hang out in front of there and not go in all day long
I'm
for
so
4
upset
days.
that I can't go to. Sam lives 5 minutes away from the Seinfeld apartment that has been lovingly recreated in Los Angeles, and I cannot go. And that is his way of paying me back. All right, quick question, Sam.
I can't believe we've just discussed all of these things.
Well, we did it in a tasteful manner, so that's okay. Let me ask you.
You might want to Google the word tasteful. I'm just.
Have you, Sam, ever broken up with someone over the holidays?
I did break up with a girl the couple days before Valentine's Day once.
Oh, see, wow, that's breaking the rule of the turkey drop. What about you, Funkhauser?
Did I ever do what now?
Break up with someone over the holidays?
No. I cheated on a girl a couple days before Christmas when I was
you dirtbag.
When I was a teenager.
Really?
Yeah.
You're a horrible human being.
Yeah. Wow. Happy holidays. Sorry.
Did you get coal in your stocking?
Yeah. We both did.
Did she find out?
Yeah. Yeah. She walked in.
She walked in?
She walked in?
Yeah.
This is a way better story.
This is a way better story. Go on. Please, if you will, sensitively describe the scenario as it unfolded.
Did she join in?
It was a few days before Christmas, and I had a lady friend caller from out of town that was a niece of somebody that was getting married, and I'm only here for a limited time, and let me show you Hollywood, and one thing led to another, and I was 18, and let's see. Just as the Yuletide cheer was approaching,
the Yule log entering the holiday stocking.
No!
There was a knock on the door, and there she was, the gift in her hand, and I had a gift in my hand too, and that was it. I was probably the last guy that she ever dated, too.
So she storms out. Oh, what? You mean, hold on. Did you drive her to lesbianism like George Costanza?
Yeah, like 10 years later. Hey, what's up? Facebook connects us. How are you? And she was leading a different life that time.
Wow.
Could have been that.
Yeah. That is the insensitive way to
Merry
dump somebody
Christmas.
during the... Yeah, Merry Christmas. Are you guys familiar with the term turkey drop?
Yeah.
All right, bring back the music, Funkhauser. We need something cheery to accompany this. Sam, do you know about the turkey drop?
No, but I bet you're going to tell me.
Well, here's the thing. This is why you broke the cardinal rule by breaking up with a girl before Valentine's Day. How long had you been with her?
8-9 months.
So the idea of the turkey drop is if you're going to break up with someone, you got to do it before Thanksgiving.
Turkey drop. I get it.
Turkey drop. Yeah. This is why you got to, because otherwise you're sort of like, you got to go spend Thanksgiving with each other, and nobody breaks up with somebody on Christmas. Like, what kind of cruel, heartless bastard are you? Are you Funkhauser? Oh, God, perish the thought. And that being the case, once you've made it through the other holidays, once you've made it through Thanksgiving and Christmas or Hanukkah and the New Year's, well, you can't break up with someone before Valentine's Day. So if you haven't gotten rid of them by the third Thursday in November, then you got to see it through to the bitter end, February 15th, or you're not human. So, yeah, turkey drop. Very popular time of year to break up with someone.
There's no window in January, like mid-January, where you can cut it off then and still be clear for Valentine's Day?
Well, I mean, really,
that's
you
a
should do what's
large
right for
window.
You. Yeah, and really, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to, like, string someone along meaninglessly so you can get them some vacant gift that has no feeling or emotion attached to it, go to some painful dinner, and then break up with them? And then you got to time it out after Valentine's Day. You know, like, okay, I said I loved her and got her flowers on Valentine's Day and blah, blah, blah. So, like, how much time has to elapse before I have a total change of heart and just do what I wanted to do since early November? It's a tough and choppy sort of, like, set of emotional waters to try and navigate. The ultimate question for anyone who's on the verge of ending their relationship, should you break up now or stick it out through the holidays, then end it? There's no right answer. A popular one is rip the Band-Aid off now and dump them, but a study analyzed when people change their Facebook relationship status from in a relationship to single, and the peak of the entire year is right now, right before Christmas. People are not upholding the tradition of the turkey drop. More people break up in the 2 weeks before Christmas than any other time. If that's you, if you've been broken up with, well, we want to thank you, welcome you to our little band of misfit toy family, and thank you so much for spending time with us and being part of our radio family. This time you and I spend together really is the best part of our day every single day. Have yourself a great and safe holiday season. Please, 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 if you're driving, don't drink, and if you drink, don't drive. And if you are being smart and not drinking and driving, bear in mind that other people are not as responsible as you, so be extra careful. Merry Christmas.
Feel like it's cool to turn the other cheek and give people the benefit of the doubt even when they don't deserve it.